Welcome to the first of, what'll it be, five, six maybe, Rain
Yeah,
Race Podcast, Indianapolis, 500 month of May, 10-minute specials, whatever you want to call it, because we don't actually have an official name.
should
It's
have actually
basically,
thought about that.
yeah, well, it's basically just extra bonus content
We'll think about it next year,
during the month
folks.
of May. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, just let us know. Twitter at Rain Race Podcast. So there were three sessions to cover today. The first session of the day was the veteran test, where we've had pretty much all the veterans of IndyCar get on track. The second session was the rookie orientation slash veteran refresher. Only four cars taking place in it. We had Zachary Clayman DeMello. Now, this is the first thing I want to talk about because in yesterday's episode, we were speculating on who the driver of the 19 car actually would be. And this
I said
morning,
it'd be DeMello.
yeah, they waited until the very last second, but they
20 minutes
confirmed.
until the session started. And the thing
Yeah,
is, DeMello didn't even know he was driving until they announced it. So there wasn't like a behind the scenes deal that he knew. He knew right then, 20 minutes before practice one. Pretty
yeah,
great.
it was very last second, but he got out on track and was actually the fastest in the rookie refresher test, followed by Stefan Wilson in the 25 Andretti entry, Oriol Servia in third with the Scuderia Corsa, backed by Rahal Letterman Lanigan entry, and in last place, James Davison for the quote-unquote Bellardi, AJ Foyt, Jonathan Bird entry. And then, what would it be? The veteran test. So Simon Pagenaud topped the charts on that one. He actually set the fastest time of the day with an average speed of 225.787, followed by teammates Elio Castroneves and Joseph Newgarden. So I know it's only session number one right here that we're talking about out of, what would it be, 8 sessions total. But it looks like right now the Chevys might have the upper hand. I don't know. Like I said, it's session one, so there's not too much to go
Looks
off
pretty
of.
equal to me. It was a pretty equal battle, I would say.
And I think last year's practice one fastest time was Marco Andretti at 226 point something. I'm not sure what it was after 226. So right now it's looking right around that ballpark, just a mile an hour slower, maybe a little more, a little less. Fastest Honda in session one was Marco at 223.214. So it's,
You just love saying that, don't you?
well, I mean, it's practice one. So again, take it with a grain of salt.
Well, the second session we saw a lot of toe speeds. They looked like there was a big pack out on track, which is really what we're going to see out of the first day of practice. Really, until Friday, I don't think qualifying runs matter as much. It's hard to get a real dial on what speed you're going to be hitting or what you need to do for qualifying when the boost pressures are so far down. And we really got to wait until Friday before single car runs start becoming a thing. Overall, no toe speeds in that regard basically mean nothing. So having the toe speed laps and how quick you are in traffic really is what matters here today. And the next 3 days, I believe, would be right until Friday. I'm kind of lost. That's
Yeah.
Tuesday, right?
Yep. It is Tuesday.
keep
At
I
least
keep
know
thinking
that much.
it's Monday. I keep thinking
No.
it's Monday because day one. But Penske and Andretti being up at the top is kind of interesting to see. It's going to be an interesting rest of the week, I would say.
So another thing, obviously, I believe it was the second official practice session, which was the combined entry between the rookies and the veterans. That got shortened due to rain. I assume you can
Impending
elaborate
weather.
more on that because obviously, sadly enough, I couldn't actually watch any of the racing today because I was busy with school and work and other important stuff. So, if you'd like to
Well,
elaborate on some of the
big
highlights we saw.
highlights in the session or highlights in the weather?
Well, the weather starting off because the most I know
Yeah,
is that there was rain impeding the second
I
official
mean, whether
session.
big black clouds come in on north end of Speedway, uh, clouds go boom, Speedway stop racing. That's how that goes.
So you're saying it rained? Is that what you're saying?
It didn't. It sprinkled a bit, but it was impending weather. Like you look on the radar, the big, massive red blob was coming at him. So they're like, "Oh, let's hold for 30 minutes." It was kind of weird. I think Bob Jenkins actually noted this might have been the first time that we had a yellow in practice for impending weather. So, oh, I forget. Mateus, I forget. All I know is Mateus Leist, and there were two cars that I didn't check. It was Leist and no, Daly got on late in the day. The thing with Daly and all them is Dale Coyne Racing, they seem kind of lost right now. My pole pick was Sebastian Bourdais, and he said that he wasn't having a good day. And then plus you got to think the chassis that Pip and Man and DeMello are racing were road course chassis, so they haven't been calibrated yet and whatever. And really the four drivers, that team really isn't set up for four drivers, so the debrief sessions at the end of the day are very quiet from what he says. So my picks are going well. I still think Claiming DeMello makes the show, and definitely my pick to be bumped for Mateus Leist. I think that might hold up. I forget what the deal with that it was though. I didn't ever hear what that was.
Well, Pip and Man was the slowest in the combined today with an average speed of 2:14.731. And all three of us on the regular Monday episode were insistent that she wouldn't be bumped. So we're going to have to see how that holds up. I think that's...
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole day one Dale Coyne, like you said. They're not getting that balance into the car that they really expected. I think...
The new PaySafe car looks great, may I add.
Yeah. DeMello has a new
amazing
livery. It's purple and white.
Yes.
So, couple new liveries on track today that we saw, particularly from Andretti. Zach Veach with a completely new livery. What was his new sponsor, actually? I didn't pick up on that.
I don't even know. It's like Relax or something.
Rayla?
Relax something. I think it's a J.
I don't know,
yeah.
Raylage? I don't... Something like that.
I'm on Twitter right now. Let me see if I can see it. Keep going.
In the meantime, while you do that, Alexander Rossi has a new Napa livery. It's pretty much the same thing we've seen all season so far, but it now has this American flag pattern on it. It looks very sort of like a NASCAR salutes livery.
It does. It honestly does.
It's very popular among the fans so far, and I quite like it. So that'll be quite an interesting car to see on track. Other than that,
like the red and the white works with the blue and yellow, though. I don't really. I wish they would have just done a full-on American car, not just stick that onto the normal livery.
Yeah.
I think it was Relay. Relay. There you go. That was a totally... Zach Veach's ski livery, I almost said... Okay. His livery is honestly... that was the most surprising, because the only other sponsor we know he has is Delaware Life. So he just came into Indy with this totally random new sponsor. And actually, Zach Veach, I believe he was in the top 10 in practice today. So good on him. Good on our boy Zach. Hopefully we'll talk to him on Saturday if Kevin doesn't this week.
And the last thing I want to talk about, because of all the hype surrounding her, that should give off a big enough hint, who I'm talking about, Danica Patrick was 20th today in the combined results between Practice 1 and Practice 2. Average speed of 222.728. But she did complete 91 laps, which was one of the most laps completed out of anyone in the field. Looks like the person with the most amount of laps completed during the day was Jack Harvey in the 60 Meyer-Shank SMP car. SPM, sorry.
Yeah, it was supposed to SMP.
Yeah, SPM, I got it. I picked up on it. Yeah, not too much to go over for the rest of the day. But we have Practice 3 coming up tomorrow. Of course, we're going to have another episode on that. And throughout the entire week, Friday, obviously, is Fast Friday. So I'm honestly trying to think of how we're going to record that episode, because Kyle will be leaving for Indianapolis on Friday.
I'll talk to you. I'll bring my microphone. I'll talk to you on the drive there. Hey.
But if you have a headset on while you're driving, the police might frown upon it.
No. We're good. We can do an episode.
If Kyle
Saturday
isn't on future
Sunday
episodes,
too.
Just keep in mind you got arrested for having a headset on while driving.
This is quite true.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this short, yet hopefully informative bonus episode for the month of May. Hope you all enjoyed. You can check out the rest of our podcasts, our regular podcasts. Yeah, other than that, you can check out Kyle as well. Real Fanatic 15 across all platforms.
Basically.
Yeah. thank you all for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.